YouTube, Thomas with Tomology here again. This is that second video for the mid-range build. So if y'all watched that first video, it was a budget build in 2024. This is going to be mid-range in 2024. Again, here's the processors. 13700 versus a 14700. Same thing as in the i5s. There's only a couple dollar difference, so we're going to go ahead and go with that 14700. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my card here. So what we have here, we have the i7 14700K. Then motherboard wise, we went ahead and went with a Z790 MSI. So when you're looking at motherboards and stuff, you want to come through and you want to look at all your connections. So versus the budget build, if you notice up here at the top already, we have a double 8-pin for your phases for your power phase, 4 DIMM slots. I believe 3 M.2s on this one as well. We zoom in a little bit. You got plenty of fan headers around the motherboard. You got your USB-C for front case. I believe one of these is USB 3.0, but that's the only thing I'm not seeing is a USB 3.0 front header, but that should be it. Your ARGB 3-pin, ARGB 4-pin. Actually, I think that's another fan header. I think that's your 4-pin down here. What else we got here? 2 USB fronts, which I think they need to start adding more of those in on these boards because there's too many devices now that take it. So your IO shield. We got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 USBs. You got 2 lane for you got your 1 gigabit and your 2.5 gigabit. Your sound, Wi-Fi 6E. So a little less limited than the original board, but your phases are higher for your CPU. So if we come down here to specs, we are it can support up to 72, it claims, but there's only a few people that are here on YouTube that can tell you that you can actually get that. You actually want to stick between 6,000 and 6,400. That's where you want to be at. So that's saves you from blue screens and other complications, and this is better. So yeah, like I said, 3 M.2, 4 SATAs, your back IO shield, your connections right here to ATX motherboard. So this gives you the breakdown. Again, when you're looking at different things like RAM, if you actually go to, I'm going to go ahead and open up, I'm going to go ahead and open up my my motherboard here. Let's go to MSI. This is mine. So I'm going to go compatibility. So if you go to the manufacturer motherboard that you're looking at, they have a compatibility chart. So you can go to memory and it tells you, what vendor. So, Lexar, Alloy, G.Skill, Kingston, Corsair. There's so many here and it tells you for what it is. And of course, 7200. So I can click on this. Gives me all my 72. And then, of course, the lower end. So all the way down to DDR5 4400. Click on it again, give me my 72. So my motherboard is supposed to. But now, if you look, that's for the 14 gen. If you go to 13 gen, again, now it tells you what you're supposed to be able to use, T4s. It gives you all the breakdown. But I can clearly tell you that this is wrong because my board, which there again, I can just have a crappy silicon CPU. Mine crashes at 7200. I can't get it stable at 7200 as much as I do, and all the water cool, and as cool as mine, even my RAM is water cooled. So anyways, I chose that for the motherboard. Let's go ahead and go back. And then the RAM, there's so many, it's up to you. There's so many different ones. I know this is silver and the build's black, but you're not going to hardly ever, you won't see that silver unless you're looking at one side of it, but 9 out of 10 times you won't see the color of the 6. The top of it is still just RGB and black. So that's basically what you're going to see is that like that right there. So, but Kingston, I mean, the Kingston Fury is really, really, really good. If y'all check out J2Sense, he has a couple of videos with this as well. I've used this. Then I went to the Patriot Extreme, Viper Extremes, so that way I could water cool them. A lot of them, this one here, they just didn't have a high enough, but you can take these off. They encourage you, where like G-Skill and stuff, if you take off the heat sink, then your warranty's automatically void. So I went with this kit here. Again, it's a 6,000. It's perfect. You're not going to have, any blue screens and compatibility issues, especially with the 14th gen. Again, it's a medium or mid-range build, so I only went with 32 gigs. If you want, you can go to 64. The high end to me is where you're going to go to 64, because if you're building a high-end computer, you're doing more like what I'm doing right now. You're doing video editing, and gaming. You're doing multiple things. So again, case latency is 32. And that is at 1.35 volts instead of 1.4 like we did on the budget build. So again, it all depends on what you're doing. So then for hard drives, when you start getting into the mid and high, I only suggest using Samsung and Western Digital, maybe some Crucial, but these SN850Xs, they are fast. So you can do a 1 terabyte, if your budget is a little tighter for a mid-range, then you can go with a 1 terabyte for, $91.99, just say $100. It's 162. So you're getting more for your bang for an extra gig. So you're not paying the full, like right here, you're almost paying $1 a gig. So here you're getting a cutout on it. So, but that's what I did. The SN850X. I run 3 of these, and I run a Gen 5 in mine, which I'll get to that on the higher end builds. Thank you. Get off of there. All right. So then with the video card, actually the video card, I just added this Zotac in here, but I think 4070. So 47. Here, let me go ahead and pull it up real quick for y'all. Newegg. Let's go ahead and go to components. We're going to video cards, GPUs. So we're going to go ahead and do the 40 series. So 4070 Ti Super and 4070 Ti. So we're going to apply this. If we look at the prices, so for 4070 Ti Super, like I said, I mean, $800, depending on what you get. And then if you go down to this, a 4070 Ti, that's a non-super, you're at $780. You might as well go ahead and pay that extra $20-$30 for it. Again, this is mid-end. So once we get in the high end, now we're looking at the 4080 series and the 4090 series. Well, 4090, should I say, not series, because there's multiple 4080s. But anyways, so I went ahead and went with the 4070 Ti. And again, one of the ones I was going to go with, they just didn't have it in stock, but the Zotec's really good. Me personally, I'd stick with the Gigabit, Asus. Actually, Asus thinks their crap don't stink right now. They're most than anybody out there, and MSI. And for the lower end cards, Zotac, they're coming, especially the Trinities, they're coming up good on their cards. They're making them nice. Only thing I don't like is, I don't know if y'all agree or don't agree, but if you look at some, especially the 4090s, to me that just looks like a maxi pad. I'm sorry, I know that's nasty, but that just looks like a maxi pad to me. So the way that they're making these shapes, it's crazy. I mean, go back here, the shape of it, and the 4090s was even worse on the shape right here. But yeah, that's all it reminds me of. But anyways, went with the 4070 Ti Super. This right here will be ample enough to get all the way up to 200 frames at, if you're building a 1080p, this for 1080p, you're wasting your money. This right here is for 2K gaming. So if you're just 1080 gaming, go to my budget build. Budget build will work. You can still use this same build here, but just change your video card. I don't see using this high end of a card for a budget, for a mid-range. I don't, or excuse me, a budget build. I don't see using this for a budget build. That's just me. That's just a waste of money. So there again, like I said, we got the motherboard, we got the video card or the processor, the video card, the RAM, the hard drive. Then we go in and we find us a case. So the case that I chose was the H9 Flow. It's a really nice case. The airflow is really, really good on this. So you can put 10 fans in here, put a 360 AIO up top, 360 on bottom, 360 on the side. Put it wherever you want. I would suggest keeping it on the top. You want the 3 back walls to be intake. You want the 3 bottoms to be intake. The top 3 to be exhaust and the back one to be exhaust. You want that air to be flowed just perfectly in here. Even if you went ahead and went vertically mounted on your video card, you would still have ample enough in here for that. Clean Aesthetics is just it's a really nice case. Enough room for everything. Enough in the back to hire your Yeah, we're going to hire this case. Hide your cable management. The trays can be taken out, so it gives you more room if you're not using hard drives. Put that back in the box. You can put SSDs on the back wall. But remember, the SSDs you put in, then it limits your M.2s. What's nice is this right here. Like if you want to do custom water cool, this back panel comes off right here for your fans. Put your radiator on and then put it in. Or if you want your AIO, just remember if you put an AIO right here, the tubes need to be on the bottom, not the top. You'll get air gaps in there. But no, it's just a all around good case. Again, looks like the O11 Dynamic. This with a cheaper price point. To me, a little bit cleaner. I like the ventilation system on here, the holes. It just gives you so much on there. So that's the case that I went with for this build. Then the power supply, again, let's go ahead and click on the video card. When you're looking at your video cards, you need to be looking at your plugs. So 2 things you need to look at on a video card: the length of the video cards, and then this plug right here. So this is only picture. So this is the new 12-pin standard plug for the new NVIDIA cards. So you want to make sure that your power supply hopefully has one of these on it. And since the ATX 3.0 power supplies are getting cheaper, you need to have it. So the other thing you need to look at on video cards is the length. I said that in the first one as well. So recommended power supply is 750 watts just for this card. So, but your length is 307. Always give yourself at least 5 to 10 more than that when you're picking a case. So give yourself, say, 315 millimeters long. So again, this case was sufficient for that. So the power supply I went with is a Be Quiet. And one of the reasons why is it's 1,000 watts and it has my proprietary PCI 5.0 plug right here. So then I believe that was it besides the cooler, which again, this is all going to be preference and what you want. But Phanteks has been on an upcoming. I would not be using Corsair unless you're going with the whole ecosystem for all their plugs. They have certain plugs, and I think it's stupid for you to use it. You got to buy something that's adapters to plug it up. It's crazy. But these right here, I forgot what pump they have in here, but these are really, really good AIOs right here. Phanteks is coming up. I'm trying to see what pump they say they have in here. I know it's the newer style pump that's in here. But I mean, the Glacier, I mean, I'm just all white black on my build, and the Glacier would look real nice. I like my custom water cool though, but I really do like this. So it's not over the top. You want to turn the lights off, you turn the lights off. So the pump tells you everything about it. Again, if you notice most builds, they're always on the top. I mean, it's for the air bubbles. You want to tear up your AIO, go ahead, put it on the side and have your tubes at the very, very top. You're creating air bubbles up there at the top. So, but anyways, that is the budget, or the mid-range. And if you look at the price up here, we're at $2,100. And there's one thing else that we need. And again, I would go to Amazon for this. Oh, crap. No, continue shopping. And now I guess I got to put this in here. I redid Windows. I was having problems how to redo my Windows, or else this video would have been up a couple days ago. So, and 120 mm case fan. Again, this is a mid-range and it's all your own preference. So you can go with RGB, you can go with non-RGB. The sky's the limit here. If you got the extra flow, the money, and you're just wanting that, then add you some RGB. If not, Antex, this is right here is where I would be at for a build like this. It's blacked out. I like RGB, don't get me wrong. I nothing but RGB on mine. So, but these Antex are really, really nice. And for a 5-pack, it's $30. So 2 of these, $60. So you add that to your cost over here of your 2100. So just figure about 22 to 23 by the time you're done. Oh, and don't ever just use the thermal paste that is on the AAO. I left that out of the budget build. Don't just leave that what's on there. Go buy you some thermal paste. Go out of the way, Capital One. So, and I suggest MX4. Don't believe in the hype in the MX6. I mean, the Noctua, I don't know. I've done all of them. I've had literally every single one underneath the moon. I think there's just one that I haven't had. The Kingpin. No, actually, I did do the Kingpin. And don't ever do, what is it? The liquid metal. Don't do liquid metal unless you know what the heck you're doing. Don't do it. That's by far worse. But I would always grab this MX4. I'd actually find the 8-gram one. The 8-gram one is about $7 for 8 grams instead of the 4 grams. And then they're good for about a year. So I always suggest after every 3 months or so, re-thermal paste. Other people disagree with me, but that's just, this is Thomas Ophthalmology. So it's my outlook on it, but that's what I suggest. So again, LEDs and the lights, and if you want it to kind of look like that right there, I mean, you don't have to get the NZXT fans for it to look like that. If you like that AIO right there, you can find the NZXT AIO. So, but no, this right here for 2024, this is what you get for a mid-range. I remember building high-end computers a couple years ago where I was under this right here. But this is going to be basically what your mid-range computer looks like. So now I have my budget video out. Here's the mid-range video. Hope y'all enjoy. I'm Thomas Ophthalmology. I hope y'all got something out of this. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. It'll help me out getting more content out here. I'm very honest, not selling nothing, non-sponsored. So, but anyways, Thomas Ophthalmology. Y'all have a good one.